All right, guys, we are back. Welcome. My name is DK, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the 7-game NBA preseason slate on DraftKings. If this is your first time watching, I do cover content for daily fantasy sports, as well as for player props, NBA and NFL mainly. If you guys are looking for more content, you can check out my premium linked in the description, all over on OddsShopper, whether it be for DFS content, prop betting content, all that is linked down below. And so recapping tonight. Tonight was wild, man. It was hectic. So much unexpected stuff. A lot of teams trolling. The Heat beat writers were shocked that these starters were playing, and then they're like, "Oh, they're only going to play the first quarter." That's what multiple beat writers said. And then the Heat starters on a back-to-back come out and play like normal minutes, which made no sense. Spoelstra too was really pissing me off because they were interviewing him, asking who's playing, and he wouldn't say. Like, why? I just had to get this out of him. Like, why are you being secretive? It's a preseason game, brother. Like, what do you have to gain by like not revealing who's playing? Built me beyond belief. We had the Cavs lie as well. They said they wanted to keep the starters around 20 minutes. They came out and played decent minutes there in the third quarter. We also got news that the Pistons were going to have one of the rosters. That got me completely off all the Pistons, and I took unders on all the Pistons. PRAs when we got the news. That worked out. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there any other trolls? Again, we got the Cavs troll. We got the Heat troll and Spoelstra just being the vote for no reason. 76ers only played the starters a half. Hawks only played the starters a half. There's some trolling there. But recapping tonight, even though there was some trolling, we took it down. First place. Love to see it. $1,250. This is the lineup I went with: Maxey, Cam Thomas, Oubre, Noah Clowney, Drummond, Buffkin, Johnson, and Vooch. Obviously got unlucky with the 76ers only playing a half. So had Maxey, Oubre, and Drummond, but still was able to take down the tournament. Cam Thomas played in the fourth quarter and did not shoot well. Noah Clowney was a value play that stood out. Once he was starting the five, no Ben Simmons. They just didn't really have any other bigs. And then, the Hawks. I forgot this was the sweat. We got Hawks news like 5 minutes before this lock of the game that like a ton of guys were out. I had to pivot some stuff around and was able to get Kobe Buffkin in the lineup because they rolled out like 5 guys. And then that ended up being difference. Was the reason why I won the tournament was because Kobe Buffkin. So you love to see that. And so that's a recap there. Let's see if we can keep going for the 7-game slate. Charlotte and Indiana. First game here, Charlotte. Don't think we'll see Mark Williams play, but we'll keep an eye on that. If he's out, you're going to get Nick Richards once again starting. Starters got good minutes in their last game. Would expect similar run, maybe even more for the Hornets. So I think LaMelo looks great at the top. Great matchup here against the Pacers. Miller and Bridges, both reasonable options. Saloon, I have you pronounced his name. I need to learn. There's a few rookies I need to learn their pronunciation. So sorry if I'm botching some of these. He started last game, played decent minutes. Not really looking at any of the Hornets' value. Not really. Mainly the top end guys. Now for the Pacers, they rested a few main guys: Halliburton, Siakam, McConnell, Naismith. This was the last preseason game, so we expect the starters to get decent minutes. And if they do, then I think the two main Pacers look really good. They're with Halliburton and Siakam. Miles Turner only played a half last game, but again, if the starters are all in, I think they will play into the second half. You could get some value here for the Pacers, like McConnell. 4.8K will back up Halliburton. We know he's a good point per minute player. Naismith's fine. Jarris Walker's been playing good minutes. Obi Toppin, 4.3K. Good point per minute player. So you do have some potential values here for the Pacers, depending on exactly who plays. My assumption is right now you're going to see everyone playing and playing decent minutes. For the Bucks, no Chris Middleton. Starters did play in the second half last game, so I would expect similar run here for the starters. With that being said, obviously Giannis looks great at the top. Dame is playable, but I think I'd rather get to Giannis at a similar price point. And then I do like Bobby Portis off the bench. Good point per minute player. Reasonable price point. Not a ton also that I like for the Bucks. Not a ton of value that really stands out unless they end up like resting guys, obviously. For the Mavs, no Luka Doncic. He's not expected to play. Kyrie Irving is expected to play. It was only rest that he sat out last time. Would assume that the starters get decent minutes. I believe this is also their finale for Dallas, or do they have one more game on Friday? I forget. Yes, this is. Oh, they do. Oh, they play tomorrow too. Wait, never mind. Yeah. Okay, so they don't play Friday. So this is their last preseason game. So I would think the starters would play in the second half. Klay Thompson, man, I had a slip the other day that 4 players hit, and I just needed Klay Thompson for a 10x, and he shot like, oh, you just couldn't believe it. Still cash on that slip, but man, I've had so many slips this preseason where I've gotten hooked or like barely one miss. It's been super frustrating, but multiple times, like yesterday. I can show you guys this. I literally, look at this. I want to show you these slips yesterday. Now, I still made profit, still had a very good night yesterday, but got hooked on an 80x. I got multiple hooks on 10x slips too. It's like there's just absolutely no one that runs worse, man. Oh, I see Twitter's just not going to load. That's cool. Refresh this. Definitely loading. Yep. Job, Twitter. We'll check back on that in a bit. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, you can look at my Twitter. I got hooked on an 80x, $30 into 2,400 hooked. And then multiple other hooks. Like I could have had like a 200x day yesterday. Was so close. But yeah, so back to Dallas. Kyrie looks good there. A ton else. I think Hardy's reasonable. I don't think he'll start. The bigs are fine. Gafford and Lively, but not a ton else that I really like here for Dallas. Maybe Grimes for value. He's played well. I think he's a good player. I'd say, did it finally load? Oh, here we go. Can I show you guys this? Let's see. Also had a good day straight betting. I got screwed though. I took 76ers money line. And I took Heat money line, which both hit. But I lied about the Cavs at half, which was I would make that bet again 100 times out of 100. The Pistons were basically started the second half with their third stringers, and the Cavs started with the starters. I took Cavs -2.5, and the Cavs starters get beat by the Pistons scrubs, which was just very tilting. But again, I would make that bet 100 times out of 100. Okay, so here's this was the 80x, man. Rozier 15 out of 15.5 PRA. Everything else hit. And then Rozier also cost me a 10x with that hook on this slip. I got J-Dub for absolutely no reason. Mark Dagnall is a loser, a troll. He continues to lie. The Thunder starters only played the first half, which was so incredibly frustrating. Ended up being the only miss in this slip. And then CJ McCollum kind of had the broadside of barn. Ended up chalking me on multiple slips. At a Prize Picks 10x slip too that CJ was the only miss on. So like I was so close to just an absolutely massive day for props. But yeah, so that's basically it for Dallas. I'm talking through Atlanta. So Capella rolled his ankle tonight, but Donovich, Hunter, Okongwu, and Riche. I had to learn how to pronounce his name too. I might be mispronouncing it, but they all sat due to rest. So I'm assuming they're all going to play. And well, Okongwu has an injury, but the other 3 were just rest. Where I think that Trey and Jalen Johnson could sit. Now Trey and Jalen Johnson only played the first half, so there's a chance they could play tomorrow. But yeah, we'll need to monitor the news here. A little bit tough to talk about. If Trey and Jalen Johnson are in and they play normal minutes, obviously I like them. If they're both out, then like Bogdanovich would look good, Riche would look good. Some of these other value plays, Dyson Daniels, Vic Krejci, Buffkin, guys like that, Larry Nance will all look way better. So Atlanta's pretty hard to talk about right now. Moving on to Oklahoma City. This is their last preseason game as well. So I would assume the starters play in the second half. Dagnall has lied in back-to-back games, so I just don't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. He is a full troll as well. But if the starters play good minutes, Shea would be the preferred option there at the top, 9.2K. Chet and J-Dub would obviously be viable. Hartenstein, good point per minute player, will play decent minutes as well. Wouldn't be a ton else for the Thunder to like. If they end up sitting guys, then we could possibly start looking at some of these value plays. Maybe some of the rookies, so like AJ Mitchell or Jones, guys like that. But I assume that starters will play in the second half right now. For the Spurs, Novosel, Wembanyama, we got news that he was on a limit. Last game I took is under 26.5 PRA. That hit. But yeah, Wembanyama, if he does play and we get news he's going to play normal minutes, then he looks great at the top. Obviously, he has a very high ceiling. They're going to limit Wembanyama again. Then some of these other guys look better. Paul, Keldon Johnson, so on. Now, you did see some of the starters play a bit in the fourth quarter. So that is good to see for the Spurs. But yeah, we'll see exactly how long Wembanyama is going to play for. For the Rockets, this is also the last preseason game. I think Şengün looks good at the top there at 8.7K. Definitely would prefer him to Jalen Green at a similar price point. In the mid-range, nothing else that really stands out, but I think like Van Vliet, Jabari are fine. Steven Adams will back up Şengün. Thompson will play decent minutes on the bench. I mean, they have a good second unit, right? You got my boy Tari Eason, you got Thompson, you got Cam Whitmore. They have a good second unit. Reed Shepard as well. So I think any of those second unit guys are viable for value. Let's move on to Denver and Minnesota. Last game here for Denver, I believe. Yeah, they're not in a back-to-back. Jokic and Murray and Westbrook all sat last game. Assume they will be back. I did see Jamal Murray practicing a couple days ago, so I assume he will be good. This was the last game, so I expect the starters to get decent minutes. And with that being said, Jokic looks really, really good at the top. Murray, MPJ, Gordon don't really stand out to me. I do like Westbrook. I'm assuming he plays, but I'm pretty sure he will. 4.8K, good point per minute player off the bench. I definitely like some Westbrook. Strother, similar play as well, but I think I'd rather get to Westbrook at a similar price. That's about it. Let's move on to Minnesota. So Minnesota's on a back-to-back. Starters to get decent minutes, and my guess is we won't see them, but it's not a guarantee. Obviously, we saw the Heat troll today. So Naz Reid sat last game with, I think it was like some shoulder injury, I want to say. Shoulder injury. If the Timberwolves end up like sitting like all their main guys, then this would be a situation where it'd be loading up in Timberwolves Valley, right? Like Luka Garza, great point per minute player. Josh Minot's been amazing so far in the preseason. But Dillingham and Shannon and like all these young guys would be loading up in there. Leonard Miller, right? So if that is the case and they end up sitting like a lot of these main guys, then we're going to be loading up in Timberwolves value. If the starters play, then Ant looks good at the top. The two bigs would be reasonable there with Randall and Gobert. DiVincenzo, fine play in the mid-range. But yeah, I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of these guys sit in the back-to-back. Lakers and Suns. Lakers starters did play in the second half last game. Of the two spend-ups, AD, LeBron, I think I'll give the edge to AD, but LeBron did play in the second half last game. Reeves was on a minutes limit last game. Only played the first half. We'll keep an eye on that news. If the Lakers end up sitting a lot of guys, and like Dalton Connect could be interesting, Hood-Schifino, but I think with this being the last preseason game, we will see starters play and play decent minutes. The Suns also their last game. A lot of guys sat due to rest last game. Nurkic might be back too. If Nurkic hits, you're going to get Mason Plumlee starting at the 5 would be a decent value play, and then also Darrow would be the backup 5. But Nurkic has a chance to play. Everyone else expecting them besides Grayson Allen to play. So you got Booker 8-3, KD 8K, Beal 7-1. I think Booker and KD would be the preferred options there at the top. Tyus Jones, reasonable play there, 5.6K, their starting point guard. Not a ton else I love here, though. Like I said, Plumlee would be decent value if Nurkic is out and Plumlee starts again. And then final game here, we got the Kings and we got the Clippers. The Kings report for last game is Wright Brown said he would like for the starters to play in the fourth quarter in each of the last two games. They did. They closed last game. However, with them closing last game, I think it's a little less likely that the starters play in the fourth in this game. But if they do, Fox and Sabonis both would look really good there at the top. DeRozan at 7.5 would be playable as well, but I think I'd just rather get to Fox and Sabonis at a similar price point. And then value-wise, Len's been backing up Sabonis. Good point per minute player, reasonable value play. Malik Monk off the bench, obviously coming off the bench. And Chuck Keon Ellis has been starting. Not great point per minute, but he's 3.8K, so he'd be in play as well. And then finally, the Clippers. So we know that James Harden is not going to play in the finale. He will, again, sit out the club's finale against the Kings. So my assumption is you're going to get Kevin Porter Jr. into the starting lineup. But it also could be Bones Highland. We'll see. Either way, both those guards look good. If it's Kevin Porter Jr. that starts, he looks great. If it's Bones Highland that starts, he looks great. And everyone else looks better too, right? Norm Powell, more usage. Ivica Zubac, more usage. So there's a good amount to like here for the Clippers with Harden out. Again, whoever starts to the point probably be my preferred option, but definitely like Zubac a lot. Definitely like Powell a lot. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else to mention? Chris Dunn will be reasonable. I guess an outside chance he could start him, but I think they're going to want a little offense and probably go with Kevin Porter. Chris Dunn, another guy that would look good there for sure, 3.6. Terrence Mann is only 3.4. There's actually a good amount of value here for the Clippers. I think this is definitely one of the better teams for value right now on this slate. Possibly some other teams could be resting guys and could get some good value there. But right now, knowing what we know and knowing that Harden is not playing, and obviously Kawhi Leonard's out too, there's a good amount to like here for the Clippers. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up the video. As always, if you do enjoy this, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you guys are looking for more content, again, premium, link in the description and OddsShop. I'll be posting all the updates. Every single piece of news would be over there. I'll be doing the live stream before lock and then Discord access as well, and then a ton of props too. So thanks again for watching, guys. Good luck, and we'll see you all in the next video.